Get this 11 to 1 weekdays on the Triple M network. That's Fallout Boy. Thanks for the memories here at Get This Around the Nation, brought to you by the Nissan Navara.
Now, Tone, Nikki and I have a lovely time when that song's on, serenading each other with Thanks for the Memories.
Okay, it's Friday.
Good
You
time.
shouldn't be encouraging Norg talk, Nikki Hamilton. You're meant to be the grown-up in this room.
Yeah, come on, Nikki. Jeez.
I saw Richard dive for the horns then.
Yeah.
Then go, nah, the moment's passed.
This one. Dinga, dinga, dinga. Shh. That's the best one.
I tell you what people want, and that's more...
Dutch.
They do want Dutch, but also they like it Kiwi.
Ooh.
When we play clips from Police 10-7, which is seen on Foxtel on the Crime Investigation Network. It's kind of like a New Zealand version of Cops.
But do watch out if you turn on the CI network, because there's every chance that you'll just turn it on, bang, a severed torso looking back at you.
Fair bit of severed torso work. Enlivened occasionally by the odd drunken New Zealander.
Yeah.
Here's what Ryan C. is doing. He's so into the Police 10-7 gear, it's inspired him to create an alter ego Kiwi Jim. Many a phone call has been made to unsuspecting people asking where the party is and using famous lines like,
"You racist.
and of course,
You just racist me."
he loves this one.
What are you charging me for?
You've been arrested for obscene language.
Yeah. All right.
You've got to have a beeping machine to do that one properly.
Watertight defence.
He's a big fan of...
Assault! Assault! You touched me, officer. Sorry.
And of course, the evergreen.
How come?
Yes, they've all caught on out in the wider community, apparently. Okay, you can't read out the rest of that. Office parties.
Richard, why are we...
Why are we doing that? It's nothing to do with the Triple M office party recently.
Of course not.
Tell you what, though.
No, we've been sworn to silence.
Tell you what. Last Friday, it was on.
I didn't get along.
I know
heard
you
it-
didn't.
I heard it was really on.
Real fruit fest. Because I left fairly early. I was on the soda waters.
It's
and
turning into a sort of bacchanalian display of...
just really, I locked the doors. It got Roman in there, man. It was full on.
It was a vomitorium, that's what it was.
Unbelievable.
Okay, we don't want to name any names.
We can't name any names, but you know who you are.
But it's not heading towards, lawsuit country or... What's going on with that woman from Telstra? And be careful what you say here.
I don't fully understand the story, but as what I've read and alleged blanket over everyone, just try your alleged blanket on right now.
Oh, that's cozy.
And
drawstring.
say some sort of sex romp
In a bath.
In a bath.
Where someone was having to use the toilet. So it's sounding great, isn't it?
That's hot.
Someone had to use the toilet while some other action was going on in the corner bath.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so she was embarrassed. There's been a couple of sackings, counter lawsuits and what have you.
However,
Her photo was in the paper today, as a matter of fact.
and you said quite hot. Good for a sex romp.
I never said good.
Because I did assume, actually, when I saw the thing, sex romp, I was like, they're not even going to be hot. And then they were. I was like, pretty sweet deal.
Okay, so I just like to think
I love. Have you ever been in a romp?
No.
I've never been in a romp.
you're romp ready.
How do you? How does it go from general sort of coitus, on the departure lounges, from Ansett that are now in my house, into romp territory? You know what I mean? If someone needs to be going to the toilet in the corner, so be it.
I like to think when you're on hold at Telstra for hours and hours, that's what's going on.
What's going on?
So they're all in a bath in the corner.
I can hear a bath running. No, I can. I can hear a bath running. What's that slurping? All right,
Okay.
so you've been in a romp. Give us a call.
It's not have you been in a romp? It's what happened at your office party. And be careful, people. Change names, for God's sake.
Yeah, I mean, I only thought they said yes at Optus, but apparently...
Oh, man.
Telstra.
No change for that. It's Friday, man.
Okay, I remember...
So how do we clean this up?
Well, years ago at Triple M, I remember there was a bit of a office party in the sales department, and the cleaners came in, and I just love the visual poetry of this. Cleaners came in on a Saturday morning and found two people from the sales department nude and unconscious on the floor. And this is the part I love. Surrounded by complimentary MTV condoms. Our radio station is that. All right. Yeah, I mean, you've worked at so many stations, been sacked from so many, Richard.
Yeah, that's true. One of the best Christmas parties of all time was it started at 6 p.m. and it went until about 2 a.m. at an intensity. fantastic.
Really?
And that alcohol with the combination of the horsey game,
An NBA
perhaps
jam?
around later in the evening, not the best combination.
Really?
Because a lot of shaking up and what have you.
Ooh.
So, yeah, they had a lot of cleaning up to do.
A lot of buck hunter, if you know what I'm saying.
That is your good Christmas party action.
Okay.
I have never seen people in sales looking so nervous.
Well, I've actually there are 3 of them have lined up on a couch and they're waving their hand. They're ready to name names.
That's a romp on that couch. That's what your romp looks like.
bath going.
I just like to point out the MTV condom story. They were sacked years ago.
Yeah.
It's not you people.
All right.
Look, Matt Parkinson's looking nervous.
Oh, man. Put him back on, Parkinson.
He's putting a coat over his head.
Jeez Louise.
What was he up to at that party?
As we welcome Stu from Creative. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Now, you tell me a little story off there. What happened?
Well, years ago, and I'd like to point out it was years ago.
Yeah.
Possibly in a different country.
In a different country. Me and a girl needed to find some private time. And we didn't realise that we had used someone's office, and the boss was still actually at the party, and she was going home, so she needed to get a bag, and so she kind of walked in and turned on the light and stepped over us, got a bag, stepped back over us, closed the door and turned off the light.
Fantastic.
Isn't that lovely?
Not even a comment.
No comments. It was just, I think it was a, hi guys.
And are you guys still together? No, apparently.
Not quite.
What is that? Where is that accent from, Stu?
New Zealand.
Oh, which part?
Auckland.
Auckland. That's 25 miles west of Hobbiton.
For
For those following on their little map.
Thank you, Stu.
Thank you, Stu.
Wow.
That was much
Great
less
stuff.
libelous than everyone out there thought it was going to be.
Quite nervous, aren't they, Tone?
Wow.
Look at that. Lots of people resigning on the spot. Good news. Hello there, Phil. How are you?
G'day, how you going? Love your show.
Thank you,
Thanks,
brother.
Phil.
What happened?
Oh, it was a couple of years ago at my work Christmas party. I got there late, fashionably late, about an hour or so, which is always a good thing. And I got there and so I was
Yes.
doing the nice cordial thing, kiss on the cheek, oh, hi everyone, Merry Christmas, all that kind of stuff. And the secretary, who was a bit under the weather by then, she just comes up to me and just licks me across the face
Yes.
and stumbles off and keeps walking. And all my friends who I said Merry Christmas to, just not a word was said.
Fantastic.
Lovely. Are you strawberry flavoured, Phil? Was that-
I am, mate.
There you
Probably
go.
a little bit of chocolate covering, yeah.
That's probably what she was after.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
usually just the entree to what happens around. I mean, that wouldn't even, make the newsletter around
Stu
here.
wouldn't even stop for that.
No,
Just keep
not-
walking.
He's turned his nose up at that cooler.
Hey, thank you, Phil. G'day, Scott. How are you?
This was years ago. I used to work for Qantas out at Melbourne Airport, and they had a Christmas bash in the bar up there.
Yeah.
Plenty of guys and girls trash. There was plenty of Norks action.
Yeah.
Guys running around in the terminal, drunk, stealing pop plants. Federal police were on the chase.
It's like
Guys
Benny Hill.
punching on with taxi drivers that looked like Baghdad.
Really?
Wow.
Or a football match. Some yakety sax would have been perfect. Policeman chasing a woman, Norgs out holding a pot plant.
I didn't realise Baghdad was just one big office party.
Yeah,
but
sounds good.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Thank you, Scott. Well done, sir. Hello there, Stephanie.
Look, mine's really brief, but basically a famous old Christmas party, and all I remember having drunken green chartreuse for the first time in my life
Yeah.
was ending up under the table, literally under a table in a pub with one of my colleagues who pointed out to me our boss's camel toe because her jeans way too tight and way too high.
All right.
What a...
And my guess is no one's ever stopped mentioning it to this day.
Well, yeah, we never mentioned it to her, but we certainly haven't stopped mentioning it to each other, and it's a pretty hideous memory, really.
Yes. Someone needs to actually ride a camel into this year's Christmas party. Really draw attention to it. Keep going with that one.
Thank you, Stephanie.
I notice, a lot of office party stories begin with, I was drinking that stuff and I've never had that before.
absolutely right.
And often the drink is just green.
I think at our Christmas party, everyone's so immune to alcohol, it's just methylated spirits, shots of when you walk into the Triple M one.
Perco Pops for all.
Absolutely right. G'day, Will. How are you?
We were at a mate's Christmas party and then got drunk till early hours of the morning, and then near the end of the party, the host actually disappeared. We couldn't find him, and then we all slept over, and we woke up the next day, we were looking for him. We
Yes.
found him nude at the bottom of his cupboard.
Oh, right. And probably late for his shooting of fishing adventures as well. What did he have to say for himself?
He said it was very comfortable.
I'll just stay here.
Leave me amongst the shoes. Stu, any ideas there?
No.
You going to go a face lick at the next party?
Face lick's a good one.
There we go.
I like that.
Thank
Looking
you.
forward to it.
Well, thanks to everyone who called in with a story like
Very
that. Can I
tame.
just ask, in the creative department, Stu, it's years since I did that kind of work. Are these phrases still popular? Thinking about carpet?
Definitely.
There's never been a better time to ...
I use that once a day.
Fantastic.
Any bargains be described as brain snapping at the moment, Stu?
Does everything have to go because somebody's overstocked by mistake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of shipping errors around your way, are there, Stu?
You
What
wouldn't
is-
believe the shipping errors.
What is it with the shipping errors?
Can't get it right. They cannot get it right.
Are retailers still displaying outward signs of insanity?
Crazy prices.
Fantastic.
Thank you,
Good
Stu.
to see the old traditions are being kept alive by the young folk. What a view from up this Talkback Mountain today.
Pretty up here, Tone.
What's our topic?
It's about toys because of the Mattel toy recall.
The recall, the lead paint disaster.
That's right. Parents are being forced to hunt through their children's toy boxes once again. Another toy recall. An industry overhaul is being called for. Mattel yesterday announced a voluntary recall of more than 21 million Chinese-made products worldwide, including 500,000 in Australia. Some of the problems with the toys. There's magnets inside, some small, powerful magnets that could be swallowed, and also high levels of lead in its surface paint.
Yeah.
I was writing a joke on this.
Yeah.
My pencil broke. I need a Mattel toy.
Okay.
I need a Mattel toy. Why can't you get one when you need one? It's the most annoying thing.
Now, this is all fine and well and good, but this leads us to our topic. This wouldn't have happened at my house because I just wouldn't have had any of the toys that were needed.
No, because let me guess, your mum would have gone, don't need a shop-bought one.
Yeah.
I can construct, sew or knit something of equal value.
What's not fun about a stick? So the topic today is my mum wouldn't buy it for me, so I got this instead, or I had to make do with this. Now, I'm going to start off, if I might. All I wanted out of life when I was a kid was a fort, somewhere to go. You know, the cardboard box in the backyard used to get rained on and washed away.
It would just implode.
Absolutely right. And I wanted like a hideaway. A bloke that I knew, he had like a secret passage in his house.
Oh, secret passage.
Yeah.
Candlestick down, bookshelf open.
Well, no, Tone, just a door. But he could have put a candlestick up there if he wanted to. Instead, my mum said, why don't you just crawl around underneath the house?
Just as good.
So that's what I used to do. And then
Yeah.
once I started doing that, she used to yell like from underneath the house, "What? While you're down there, if there's anything big that needs to come out, you could drag it out for some fun."
Mind that, asbestos.
Yeah, that'll get you.
I tell you what, I mean, we've all had a bit of this. I've mentioned it before. Batman costume. Why can't I have a Batman costume, Mum? Grandmother overhearing this, I can just knit you one. Be just as good. And as I say, you've got to imagine an all-over grey tea cosy. The Batman's costume is meant to strike fear into the heart of supervillains. Hard to do that when the cowl has a pom-pom on the top. A jaunty scarf, no substitute for a utility belt, I think you'll find. Biros sewn into it, Ed.
Man.
What am I meant to do with these?
I just want to punch you.
Watch out, Riddler, or I'll write a really angry letter to the newspaper.
Ooh.
Snap, my mum made me a Batman costume as well.
Really? How
Matter of
good
fact.
was it?
Yeah, it was probably a little better than that, though. There was leotard involvement.
Really?
Yeah. Great. Gumboots.
And it didn't matter how big you made the bits on the utility belt. You still couldn't fit everything the Batman got in there.
Oh, no. The bat magnet. The batarang.
The shield.
The shield.
The
The bat
enormous
shield.
perspex shield that unfolded from his flimsy cape.
That's right.
Remember that? Now, in the cartoons, that's just in a pocket down the back
Yeah.
there. In
Like
real
everything.
life, okay, they're shooting at me, right, construct the shield quickly. The bullets, they're almost here, quickly. Hours to construct that shield.
The shark repellent spray was real, though, wasn't it?
That was real.
Yeah,
that was real.
absolutely. Yeah.
You still
The
get-
shark was fake, but the repellent spray real.
G'day, Andrew. How are you?
Oh, g'day. How you going?
Excellent, sir. What happened?
I don't know if you might be a bit young for this, but it was when War Games, the movie, came out. About computers and
I
stuff.
certainly remember that. Matthew Broderick directed John Badham.
Well, I obviously wanted a computer and I asked my parents to buy me a Commodore 64.
Now, Andrew, was this in the time when there was all off tapes, the Commodore 64?
Yep. They had
Okay.
tape decks.
And what'd you get?
I got a Dick Smith VZ200.
Oh, what was the Visa 200 story?
It didn't have, computer keyboard. It had a keyboard, but it didn't have the buttons like you think. It had calculator buttons, little soft spongy ones.
I had the Dick Smith VZ200 as
Now,
well.
did it have games?
Yeah, it had like a Frogger rip-off, didn't it,
Yeah,
Andrew?
another. Oh, it was pretty lame.
All right, there you go.
And if you let the computer go at some point, if you typed in a magic code, sometimes the data would come up in the shape of Dick Smith's face.
I never got that far.
Okay. Well, I was pretty advanced on the Dick Smith Feasing 200.
Amazing.
Well, we have got a kind of a Batman theme today, and I don't know, you've been watching Batman on the TV
Every morning.
Have you seen the Bat computer yet?
Pretty much, as far as I can see that it works. You walk up to it, and it looks like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
You push one of the lights, and it solves the crime for you.
And you know that it's the Bat computer because there's a big sign, nicely painted by a sign writer, Bat computer.
The Bat computer.
Who else is down there? Who's confused about that?
Alfred.
Do you think he ever forgets his password, typing it in Batman? What was it this week?
All right.
Gadzooks.
Hello. Slunk. Someone got thrown into a wall the other day and it said slunk. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Robin? Hello, Sarah.
Well, look, my sister waited for ages for a cabbage patch. She finally got one and it was named Lionel, but she wondered why it didn't have a doodle. So she asked my mum if she could make a little doodle and put on there. So Mum did the tiniest little doodle out of a stocking and put a bit of Velcro on it so he could stick on there and it would look authentic. But the problem was it was Parent-Teacher Day and she was at the school with her stockings on, all dressed up, and she looked down and this little doodle had become attached to her stocking.
Brilliant.
She was there.
Suddenly she's looking like Lorena Bobbitt.
Bit of King Missile detachable penis work from your mother. Great work.
Wow, I mean, obviously that's a service that she could have done for other... I mean, there's a lot of doodleless toys out there.
I mean, and you can pick your own type.
And I think also a milestone, forget this as well, 7 uses of the word doodle.
It's a new record. Thank you, Sarah.
Yes, give a round of applause, Mr. Marsden, for Lachy, Hulme.
Welcome back. Thank mate.
It's a short trip. I'm only here for a week.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to have to squeeze a lot in there.
I know.
Movie talk.
We better get cracking.
We were just talking about Batman because I know you're a huge Batman aficionado. Young Ed Cavalier here. Never seen the original TV series, just being exposed to it.
First time round. Now,
It's a lot of fun.
It's amazing, but does the Commissioner know that Bruce Wayne is Batman?
No.
Okay, so there's a bloke that he calls him every day and he only hears his voice.
Yeah.
That's Batman. Then he meets Bruce Wayne pretty much every episode when Bruce has some soiree at his house. And he sees him and he speaks in the same voice.
And he doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Now,
Is that what I'm meant to believe?
yes, you are. And you've also got to understand that obviously in the TV show, Commissioner Gordon is not very bright.
Ah.
No.
Okay,
Is that
you
where
just
that's coming
work on
from?
that. And it's not just Bruce Wayne he's talking to. He's got his sidekick Dick Grayson, and
Now-
then Batman and Robin are in the office, and he still can't put.
Now, hang on a second. What's a youthful ward? As far as I can
youthful
tell,
ward. Well,
Adam
the-
West has just gone, you're 18. Do you want to come live with me?
Well, you know what's even creepier? Ed, in the comic books, Dick Grayson's meant to be 13.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Let's not...
Okay. So,
And how, as Ed said to me this morning, how stupid is Aunt Harriet?
oh, yeah. Well, you know why they introduced the character of Aunt Harriet?
Why?
Because in the 50s, this psychologist, Dr. Wortham, wrote this report saying that comic books are corrupting the youth of America.
Right.
And he centered his attack on Batman, which he said Bruce Wayne, Dick Grayson, and Alfred the Butler living in a big mansion with nice flowers on the mantelpiece is essentially a homosexual fantasy.
up.
So the writers thought, oh, Christ, we better put a woman in the mix. So they came up with Aunt Harriet.
Aunt Harriet, who's just constantly being, tricked by Bruce Wayne, who's having to run out. He's not going to be there that night. It's Aunt Harriet, the rare spotted warbler, only seen at this time of the year in the middle of the night. Dick and I won't be back for dinner.
Oh, okay. Have fun, Bruce.
As they run towards an opening bookshelf.
Yeah.
Look, we're so off the subject. We're talking movies, not TV.
Hello there. Dane Roy has emailed in. He is 18 years old.
Yes.
And he's from Bunyip in Victoria. And he says, hi, guys. I've come to a dilemma. I need your help. I'm going on a date with a woman. Yes, a woman. And I'm not sure which movie to take her to see or which DVD to rent. Here is my
Right.
short list so far.
Shortlist.
Short list headed by The Bus.
Yeah.
Short bus.
Yeah,
Good one. Go,
I don't-
Danny.
Now, see, Ed reckons this is a date movie. None of our listeners agree.
Okay, I went on a first date with the blokes in the trench coats. Action.
But
All
it's
right.
the kind of film that's an instructional for having a date by yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I think that's a poor one. Let's see the
Meatballs
next.
4.
Meatballs 4. Are the ladies going to be into shower blocks falling down for no reason?
And
kind
quite
of act?
frankly, listen, Dane, if you're listening, if you're going to do sort of summer camp type stuff, you can't go past Whitewater Summer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? You can't go past Whitewater Summer with Kevin Bacon.
The first of many. rafting movies Kevin Bacon made. River Wild.
River Wild,
GG.
Bikini Bandits, The Thief and the Stripper, My Life as a Troll. As you can probably know...
When he says he's going out with a woman, is this a woman he's bought and paid for the hour? What's the...
I don't know if these are good ideas.
Add Dane Roy to the list of libelous comments made by Lachy Hulme.
Yep.
An 18-year-old boy's copying it.
Well, I mean, if he's after sort of gropey things, why doesn't he get Titanic? Because it's got tit in the title.
That's a good idea.
All right, we need some sensible suggestions.
So what we're looking for here is good date movies, or let's dovetail this Tony Martin, Lachy Hulme, Richard Marsland with movies. Once you've got them in the boat, so to speak, we'll guarantee some action.
Oh God!
Well, you can't go past a scary film though.
Oh, really?
Now you know what I just bought on DVD.
What?
The Changeling.
Oh, The Changeling with George C. Scott.
And Trish Van Devere, directed by Peter Maddock. This, for anyone who has not seen this film, people always talk about The Exorcist, people talk about The Shining, so on and so forth. The Changeling, 1980 Peter Maddock film, is one of the most terrifying movies ever made. It's a haunted house film.
Is it scarier than The Prince of Tides?
Well, it all depends on your perspective, Ed, but I would suggest to young Dane, if you want to have this girl curled up on the couch next to you, gripping you, The Changeling, mate. It's an absolute foolproof.
All right, frightening them into the boat.
Frightening them.
One possibility. What's the traditional approach, the chick flick?
Yeah.
Which are the ones you can sit through? I can sit through Say Anything with John Cusack.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, yeah.
I like Before Sunrise and Before Sunset.
I like those
two
I thought it
ones.
was After Sunset.
Yeah, no.
Isn't it
Before Sunrise, Before Sunset?
I thought it was After Sunset.
Oh, maybe it was Half Past Dead.
I don't know.
Who
I haven't
knows?
seen it. I thought it was From Dusk Till Dawn.
Them two ones with Julie Delpy and Ethan Hawke. What are the other chick flicks you guys can make it through?
High Fidelity is a good one.
Yeah, I guess so.
Good.
Like it is a bloke's movie, but it's a chick's movie in disguise.
You reckon?
No, absolutely it is.
Right.
It's all about love.
Would you say as good as it gets with Jack Nicholson as a chick flick?
Yeah, it is, because there's a lot of love.
Well, come on, you've got a little dog, you've got a gay next door neighbour, and you've got a chick.
Chick flick. It's a chick flick.
Okay, that's got to qualify as a chick flick.
The Mirror Has Two Faces?
No.
Hey, and speaking of which, The Mirror Has Two Faces. That's the best title for a James Bond film that was never a title for a Bond film.
Yeah.
How cool would that be for a Bond film? James Bond in The Mirror Has Two Faces.
Yeah, and he could have the long Barbara Streisand fingernail.
Yeah, awesome.
Fantastic. The Mirror Has to Vomit, I think, is the actual name of that film. What, chick flicks.
Nicky's just written down The Notebook.
The Notebook.
No wonder she's pregnant. Know what I'm saying?
Preggers, Nick.
Yeah.
I try not to cop a look at your body. It's Ed's body I try to cop a look
You
at.
just assumed that while you're overseas that Nicky's been hitting the piece a fair bit. Okay.
Oh, no, I didn't know. Good on you, darling. That's fine sparkling effort. Anyway, back to movies.
What was The Notebook? Okay, The Notebook, Ed pointed out, is the number one film on MySpace for blokes trying to look sensitive.
It is.
That's Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling is in it,
Good
so
actor.
there you
He's
go.
a good actor.
Okay, chick flicks. Any sort of date suggestion movies from you, Mr. Marsland?
Well, as I said, High Fidelity, but also Swingers is a good film.
No, come on, Rich. That's a documentary for single guys. That's not a...
But that's the beauty of it, is that he sort of learns his lesson and women end up enjoying it.
Yeah, but that's the last 10 minutes of the film, mate.
The worst bit.
How about Big Fish?
Well, how about it?
Big Fish.
Not Little Fish with Kate Blanchett. You mean Big Fish
Fish.
with Billy Crudup.
Yeah.
The sequel, Big Fish.
I have to say, my wife walked out of that film. So,
Really?
yeah, wasn't impressed.
I think Spalding Gray walked out on it as well.
Yeah, okay.
Can we get... Look, listen,
That's
Dane,
very true.
Dane, mate, look, you're clearly way off. Bikini Bandits ain't going to help you. The Thief and the Stripper. My Life as a Troll. Who is this guy?
It's time to get the listeners on board. They'll know what to do.
Hello, Stefan.
Hey guys, how are you?
Excellent, mate. Your suggestion?
Hey, I'd have to go with the good old Dirty Dancing with Patrick Swayze.
It still works, doesn't it?
It does, buddy, mate. Yeah, it does.
I haven't seen it maybe since it came out. How is it aging, Ed? Have you had a look recently?
Well, I saw it for the first time earlier this year.
Wow, really?
And I loved it.
I sat down and watched it with my 3 daughters and my wife last week on DVD. I actually enjoyed it.
Fantastic.
What was your favourite bit, mate?
Too many to list, mate.
I hear that.
All right. Dirty Dancing, Footloose. You know, we're going down that path.
Yeah.
Let's try a different path, Ed. Who have we got?
Alec, how are you?
Well, you can forget about all the movies you've heard. This is the winner, Love Actually.
Yes.
Good movie.
Good choice.
Really? Now,
Without a doubt, the best.
how did it go for you? I mean, are you saying this was a successful date movie?
Oh, It's worked a couple of times.
Hey!
Yeah, whenever I've got a date coming over, I somehow manage to position it so it looks like it's at the top of the DVD pile.
Okay.
They go, oh, do you watch this? I go, oh, haven't you seen it? And
Right. Then what happens?
2 hours later, you're in the pretzel position.
Okay. Good to know.
All right.
I have to say I'm not a fan of that film, but I don't want to upset anybody.
Come on, Tony.
What's that end scene when they're at the airport? It's like British Telecom bringing people together. Hugh Grant is the Prime Minister. Does he have any help at all? There's nobody at all. He's just wandering around the streets on his own.
As Tony said, he didn't want to spoil it for anybody.
Yeah.
So,
I hate it when you pick accurate holes in movie, Tony.
Oh, okay. No, a lot of people like it. I don't want to
good at
cause trouble. Let's keep the love coming. Who's next?
Hello there, Mark.
City of Angels.
Oh, now.
Meg Ryan, Nick Cage. Remake of the Wim Wenders film. I think directed by Wim Wenders.
No, it was directed by Brad Silberling.
Oh, you're right.
The director of Casper the Friendly Ghost. Now, this is the one where an angel becomes a person, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one, mate. The best part of it's the tagline. She didn't believe in angels until she fell in love with one.
That's right.
Oh, right.
Zing!
Now, Mark, it's City of Angels that we have to blame for the Goo Goo Dolls, is it not?
Yeah, the Iris song, yeah. They've pumped out a few since then, and it's all been downhill.
Absolutely
Same
right.
with Nicolas Cage, too. All his movies have gone pretty much downhill. National Treasure and, I don't know, the other crap he's pumped out.
No, but don't worry, because every time you don't like a Nicolas Cage film, there'll be a new one coming out next week.
It's National Treasure 2, I just saw the shorts for.
Which actually looks pretty good, actually.
You're right, Lachy, that City of Angels was a remake of the German film
Wings of Desire.
And everyone laughed when they gave that remake to the director of Casper the Friendly Ghost. But when you think about it, same storyline.
Absolutely right.
Really, it is. It's a ghost that wants to be real.
Not bad.
Who's going next?
Andrew, how are you?
G'day, how you going?
Excellent, mate. Your date movie?
Shooting fish.
What is shooting fish?
This is pretty obscure, I think. Does it star Dan Futterman of Birdcage fame, who later went on to produce Capote? Is that right, Andrew?
It is. I wasn't aware of the other reference. I could only remember him as the least annoying guy from the Birdcage.
Now, how can you... So you're saying this is a successful date movie? Worked for you?
It's a belter.
It's a belter.
Whoa.
It's a belter, actually. You could probably put it that way.
And what's so good about shooting fish?
It's just a very nice movie. It's very watchable from a bloke's point of view, but it seems to have the desired effect.
Oh,
But it came out of that train spotting period where Hollywood went, England is hot.
Yeah.
They started sinking lots of money into English films, but they had to have an American in them to secure the distribution, I guess. Or something.
Well, yeah. It's good that you're here, Mr. Marsden. Thank you very much, Andrew. Great suggestions from everybody. I hope
brilliant.
everyone's written those down.
Thank you very much.
Try them out and get back to us. Robert De Niro is in town, flogging his new restaurant in Melbourne, I think, at the moment.
Yep.
He's been giving away a lot. He's been dropping some bombshells.
Amazing.
Listen to this.
Well, I like food, you eat every day, so you can't escape. You might as well enjoy it.
Worth having a press conference for.
Absolutely right.
Don't think the bombshells stop there.
I like the cod. That's one of my favorites.
Okay, likes the cod.
Reporters running for a row of phone boxes.
Has anyone got the Cod's perspective on this? Who's talking to Cod? Cod's gone silent.
You've been across the De Niro restaurant caper, haven't you, Mr. Marsden?
Yeah, have I? In fact, I popped in last night. It's fantastic. He's so hands-on, Robert De Niro, when it comes to his own restaurant.
He's there.
He's a very friendly waiter.
I'll buy you a nice juicy steak or whatever you want, okay? I'll get you whatever you want.
But then when you go behind the scenes, things get out of control when it comes to the steak.
Is it done? Don't overcook it. Overcook it's no good. It defeats its own purpose. I just said don't overcook it. You're overcooking it. Bring it over. Bring it over. Bring it over. It's like a piece of charcoal. Bring it over here. You buying me about a steak? You buying me about a steak?
You can't help it. The guy's passionate about his food. In fact, if you look at Cape Fear, if you pause it at the right moment, just before he bites a chunk out of Ileana Douglas's cheek, he spices it with some salt and pepper.
She had to marinate herself during
A
rehearsal.
little bit of garlic.
Oregano.
While you're doing that, what are we doing? Well,
Watching Batman.
He's just discovered Batman with Adam West on the Foxtel. If you can imagine.
If you've got the Foxtel, it's on Fox Classics every morning at 6 and then 8 a.m. Now, I don't know if people have jobs, but I would either quit or come in later because the Clock King today, Tone.
Woo! What does the Clock King do? That's one that they've just made up for the TV show, isn't it?
Giant eyebrows into clocks. That's pretty much it.
Does he wind his face back an hour for daylight saving?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. But he's got, his henchmen are called Minute Hand and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
He trapped Batman and Robin in an hourglass filling with sand.
Of course.
Out of reach of their utility belts. and a great bit today where the sand is coming on the top of their heads and heaps of sand is getting into the little eye holes of Batman's costume, but he couldn't look like he was a wuss, so he had to pretend it wasn't happening. Brilliant. Heaps of them went into Robin's mouth and go, holy sand, Batman.
So how'd they escape from the hourglass?
Well, he's like, oh, it's too tight. We can't use our puny arms to break glass. What a surprise. Yeah. So they had to push it over and then a truck hit it. They pushed it over. It rolled onto a main road. A truck.
Well, how? Where was it?
It was in looked like the back lot of a studio, to be honest. And then,
how to get out to the street?
Because when they knocked it over, it rolled through the doors, the locked doors, and then turned itself around somehow, so it was coming straight onto a truck. The truck hits it, and all it did was just shatter the glass enough for Batman and Robin to get out, and no injuries. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Not a scratch on him.
And Commissioner Gordon, I believe they were talking about a helicopter. And he had the most interesting pronunciation of the word helicopter.
Did he?
Have you ever heard it pronounced helicopter?
No.
Well, there we go. Commissioner Gordon, another first.
The man's insane.
We love Commissioner Gordon. I saw the cartoon version the other day. Super Friends was on.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that from the 70s?
Yeah, that's a good show.
And they'd sort of team up well-known superheroes with ones they'd made up just for the TV show to get a sort of more of a racial mix happening. Mm-hmm. So Superman would team up with the Black Vulcan.
Ah, there you go. Yeah.
And then they had to deal with the Lava Men.
Oh, that's right.
So you've got giant lava monsters down the street spewing lava everywhere, inundating people with volcanic lava. Superman sorts it out in about 2.5 seconds.
Thanks very much.
I'll just blow my freezing breath on them and then I'll just shatter them with my heat vision. Sorted. Cartoon over. Then they cut to the next cartoon and it's Batman and Robin teaming up with the samurai.
Oh.
It's just I don't know who he was.
Yeah.
Off they go to China because by coincidence a volcano is erupting.
Okay.
And you're going, this is where you need Superman.
Yeah.
He'd be really handy
He's
here.
so helpful.
But we've just got Batman in a plane. A normal person in a plane. How does he sort it out?
A bloke with a sword.
Throws an anchor out this is serious. Throws an anchor out the back of the plane on a rope. The anchor hooks onto some rocks. All the rocks fall into the top of the volcano and stop all the lava from
let's plug it up. Oh, wow.
Just with an anchor out the back of a plane. No superpowers required.
And what was this samurai doing? Making drinks?
He was just standing in the background looking...
Serving tea?
Appropriate. I don't know. I just feel very sorry for the superheroes who have to be carried to the other side of the world by the ones who can fly.
It's so wussy.
I'll tell you who would be a great supervillain on Batman, and that's the Duct Tape Bandit. Did you see him on the news?
What's he up to?
This is a bloke in Kentucky who's decided to rob a liquor store by just winding duct tape round and round and round his face, leaving just eye holes and mouth hole.
Okay.
He's gone in. He's been laughed at by everyone in the store.
Oh.
He's been tackled by people still laughing. They've taken off the duct tape. His face is just a mass of rashes. He's been photographed. Everyone's had a good laugh.
Yeah.
You think that'd be the end of the story.
It's pretty much open and shut case, this one.
Next day, the guy appears on the news to deny that he was the duct tape bandit. Now, he's put about 3 inches of pancake makeup on his face to cover the injuries. And then he's doing some kind of rapping to camera moves.
Oh, he's gangster.
Have a listen to this.
I look like a duct tape bandit, baby. I'm not no duct tape bandit. You hear me? Live one-on-one, Ashton, Kentucky. You know this is not me. Now look, do the math, do the homework, man.
Yeah, see, I've done both the math and the homework, and you're the same bloke! This is in the photo they just showed. Why would you deny it?
On what grounds is he denying it? Yes, I was in a liquor store. Yes, I had my face covered in duct tape. Yes, I was trying to steal bottles of whiskey. But that don't make me no duct tape bandit. You don't know me.
Just while we're mentioning, nostalgia, don't forget the olden days Barge-ass double featured DVD is in the shops now.
Brilliant publicity, though.
Yeah.
Covert publicity.
It's been hard to escape.
But while we're talking obscure TV shows, listen to this. This is Ken Wiggett. And Mr. Wiggett says, there was a show years ago on Channel 9 called Kings in the early 80s. Starred Ed Devereaux and Deborah Lee Furness. It was about a tow trucking family called The Kings. Right. It's a pretty good show, actually, but it didn't rate very well and got cancelled early, leading to a bizarre ending with Devereaux dying in his lounge chair to suggest that with his passing, the family tow business couldn't continue to run. So they've obviously axed it halfway through. What have they done? They've gone, just get that shot of Ed sitting in that armchair.
Asleep.
And we'll just freeze on it, run a caption, and it was all a dream. No, he passed away, end of series.
Anyone else know how to drive? Nope.
Guests choose to stay at the Seapool Townhouse. But I'm amazed. No, we didn't mention that one. He's thinking maybe we don't know about Kings. Well, this is just the excuse I need to play a clip from the olden days. And you talk about playing visual footage on the radio. This will be baffling because this is overdubbed onto an episode of Rush.
Yes.
But in this scene, I think Kings does get mentioned.
Hey, mate, wasn't that the guy at Eustace Play School?
Yes, that's right.
See, I told you.
Oh. And haven't we seen you somewhere before?
My resume.
Jeez, look, Glenview High, Holiday Island, Tourist Rising, Kings! Are you being served down under? Wow, you've done it all. You reckon you could get us into a really bad scene in the olden days?
I just have, gentlemen.
Oh, yeah, thanks, mate.
There you go, thank you, Rob Sitch.
Brilliant work.
Mick Malloy in there. That's out on DVD now. I notice Pauline Hanson's back in the game.
Yeah, good on her.
Have you got that quote there? Drag that out. I see the name of her party is the Australia United Party. Or pardon me, the United Australia Party.
And what have we united around?
It's just racism, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Normal gear.
Everyone can get behind that.
It's a very odd name, the United Australia Party, given that its policies will presumably be the exact opposite.
That's the idea.
Okay, so that's like saying, well, we're going to call the party the Not Wearing Hats Party. Well, what's your policy? Oh, we're all going to have hats on. But you've called it the Not Wearing Hats Party. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I am an idiot.
And I've already had the T-shirts printed, so away we go. And the hats printed. Oh, wait a second.
Now, it's nothing to do with that money you get when you set up a political party, is it?
Of course not. No, not at all.
What do you mean? How much do I get?
Some sort of denial there?
Despite not winning a Senate seat, she had enough votes, more than 4%, to earn nearly $200,000. Is that why she's doing it again?
I'm sick and tired of having this thrown up at me. Go and ask the political parties. I'm not answering that question anymore. I've had enough of it.
Go and ask the political parties what? If they're doing the same thing, presumably?
Yeah, absolutely right. Go and ask Grey Power. Those old people swimming in cash.
So that's what the Liberal Party are up to. They've constructed this enormous edifice that's been going for hundreds of years, presumably.
Just to get the 200K.
Guys, we've got to keep this farrago going.
Try and buy a Tuscan villa in Brisbane.
I need that small change.
Brilliant.
All right, look, enough politics.
Jeez.
I want to talk about antiques. We haven't talked. You know, Triple M doesn't do enough antique valuing segments, I find. There's a lot of complaints about that. Go to the website.
Right.
Nothing but complaints about that very topic. How can we rectify it, Ed?
Sadly, Richard and I have come up with a sketch. Okay, don't back out on. You do this every time. You're in this.
Well,
you're in for the goose. You're in for the gander.
I got this script about 15 seconds ago. I'm just piecing it together on the run.
We've had a line change.
Yeah.
We've had a late line change.
Okay.
So, we all watch the Antiques Roadshow.
Sure we do, yes.
And we all love it. However, okay, imagine we were in a time tunnel.
Yes.
And we can now go forward to the year 2210.
Hang on, so we're travelling into the future?
We're now in the future.
Are we?
Yeah.
This is the future now?
No. Oh, yeah. Now we're in the future.
Oh, look, hoverboards.
It's the year 2210.
Yep.
We've all had Botox. We all look fantastic. Huge racks.
Prime Minister Pauline Hanson's kicking ass.
Absolutely right. And now we join the Antiques Roadshow of 2210.
Hello there.
Hi.
What have you got for me here?
Well, I'm not really sure. I was hoping you could tell me what it is.
Well, it's a Nokia 3310. Where did you get it?
Well, I used to smoke pole down at the train station, and one of my clients didn't have any money, so he gave me this.
Yes, I thought I recognised you. Are you still doing it?
No, I'm afraid not. I'm in real estate now.
Oh, you poor thing. Still, what do you think it is?
Well, see, I'm not really sure. A marital aid?
Is that how you've been using it?
Yes.
Right, well, I'm going to wash my hands and give it back then. That's absolutely disgusting.
So it's not then? It's not one of those?
No, it's a phone. Around the late 1990s, and if you look here, it slides, see?
Sorry?
Yeah.
Can you slide it again, please? I couldn't hear it.
It just slides like that.
Oh, that is clever.
Yes. It was quite revolutionary when it came out.
I see.
But what do you think it's worth?
I don't know. £1 million?
No, it's worth slightly less than that. It's worth nothing.
Oh.
Yes, completely worthless. And just for wasting my time, I'm going to smash it over your head.
I'd rather you didn't. Ow!
Too late, too late.
Ow!
Lowlives bringing in their trash.
Wow. Are we still in the future?
We're back.
No, we're back. What a nightmarish vision.
Wow.
What was going on there?
It's a bloke. He had a phone.
I'm still back on the bloke who's smoking pole down the railway
That was an
station.
interesting
That's how he
turn of
got it.
phrase. Wow.
That's how he got it.
And when you went to wash your hands, apparently you were doing it
In a milkshake.
over a urinal.
In a
by the sounds of
milkshake,
that.
Rich. Why do you? And what was that smash?
It was I was smashing you.
But it was like a boing. It was a boing and a smash.
All right, not since Orlando Bloom or ...
Get this, it's blown out to 2 hours, 11 to 1 weekdays on the Triple M network.